Akadosh, good evening. We are doing the Chazara of Dalet Amubet. Yeah, we're going from Daf Dalet Amubet here until the Mishnah. Okay? Says the Gemara. Rabbi Yehuda says, Havel Ifnei Teva. If you're going to come and you're going to be Havel Ifnei Teva, yeah. So basically, what happens is, if you remember there, we said in the Mishnah that on Yom Tov Acharon Shel Chag, Acharon Maskir, Rishon Maskir, B'Yom Tov Rishon Shel Pesach, Rishon Maskir, Acharon Eno Maskir. Right? Chazak Baruch. I see that people are paying attention. It's good. It's good. Yeah, we're getting some. Unminu, we have a contradiction. Ask the Gemara, we have a stira contradiction. Where's the contradiction? Between the Mishnah later on Daf Amud Aleph, which we're going to learn today. The Mishnah there says, until when are you going to ask for rain? Now remember, here we're talking about asking. Asking usually refers to V'ten tal umatar libracha. So until when do you say V'ten tal umatar libracha, which means you're going to ask for rain? Mahloket between Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Yehuda says, Ad she'ya'avor Pesach. Yeah, until Pesach passes. And Rabbi Meir says, Ad she'ya'avor Nisan, until Nisan passes. So therefore, right now we have two different dates, Ad she'yavor Pesach and Ad she'yavor Nisan, which means Pesach finishes, which means includes Chol Hamoed, and Nisan, which is going to what? Include the rest of the month of Nisan. So says the Gemara, you see from here the contradiction is, how could you tell me that it's until when? Until the first day of Pesach, right? Until when are we going to mention Shiur until the first day of Pesach? What are you talking about? According to Rabbi Yehuda himself, he says including Chol Hamoed. And according to Rabbi Meir, until the end of the month of Nisan. So answers the Gemara. First answer. Amar Rav Hasta. Says Rav Hasta, La Kashya. Right? He says, right? It's not a question. Kal Lishon, Kal Laskir. One of them is to ask. And one of them is to mention. What does that mean? V'ten Marta Libracha is to ask. Right? Is to maskir. So he says, guys, once you already started asking, continue asking. Laskir, but when mentioning it till Yom Tov Rishon Shel Pesach, you're going to stop on Yom Tov Rishon Shel Pesach. Says the Gemara, Amar Ula. Ula comes and he says, Had Rav Chasta Kashya. That which we said in the name of Rav Chasta is difficult. Like what? Kachometz. Yeah? L'shinayim, ke'asha la'inayim. It's like vinegar to your teeth and like smoke to your eyes. Sometimes you look at people and you have smoke in your eyes. Yeah, what does that mean? Right? What's going on here? It's not clear. So mumble jumble. What's going on? Why? Uma b'makom she'eno shoel maskir b'makom she'shoel eno din she'en maskir. Kal v'chomer. You know what a kal v'chomer? A kal v'chomer means you're going to like something from something more difficult, which means like this. If you could carry 100 pounds, can you carry 50 pounds? Obviously. Well, if you could carry 100, you could carry 50. Yeah? Exactly. That's what you do. 100%. So what's a kal v'chomer? Shemini Atzeret. What happens on Shemini Atzeret? Yeah, Mordechai. What do you do on Shemini Atzeret? Shemini Atzeret, what do you do? You mention or you ask for rain? You mention rain. Do you ask for rain? You don't ask for rain. So therefore, if right now you're going to mention, but you're not going to ask, so therefore, kal v'chomer, when you're going to ask later on, you're going to mention. So what are you talking about then? Ela Ula says, Tere Tanaim Alibad Rabbi Yehuda. There are two Tanaim in the Shita of Rabbi Yehuda. Yeah, it's not two Rabbi Yehuda, it's two Tanaim in Rabbi Yehuda. You understand? Two people in the Shita of Rabbi Yehuda. So first answer was Rav Chasta. Second answer, Rav Yosef. Rav Yosef comes and he answers. Rav Yosef Amar, my Ad she'yavor Pesach. What does it mean, Ad she'yavor Pesach? He says, you know what it means, Ad she'yavor Pesach? It means Ad she'yavor shliach tzibur rishon hayored b'yom tov rishon shel Pesach. It means until he's going to be obed on Pesach. It means that the shliach tzibur is going to come on Pesach and he's going to be obed. Which means it doesn't include Chol Hamoed. It's really be'emet Yom Tov Rishon of Pesach, and that's when we're going to ask, right? On Matai Sholim, until then. Ask the Gemara, Shachrit. Ask the Gemara, Abaye, She'ela b'Yom Tov Mika. He says, what? Is there She'ela b'Yom Tov? What does it mean? When was the last time you saw that on Yom Tov you're going to start saying V'tenu Matan Lebracha? There's no Barech no Barechenu, no nothing. So what does it mean here? Right? That you're going to start asking V'tenu Matan Lebracha. So Elmaleh, Rabbi Yosef answers, you're right. You know when? Shoel Meturgeman. Meturgeman is going to come. He's going to come and he's going to ask, right, for the different things. Why? The Meturgeman used to get up and he used to translate the entire Shiur. Yeah, I'm training Baba Haki. Yeah, the next Shiur that I give on Shabbat morning, he's going to get out there, he's going to give over the entire Shiur. So I come, right? You come, right? You give over the Shiur, and then the Meturgeman comes and he gives it all over. Yeah, he's going to repeat. Yeah, everything, word for word. Yeah?
Good memory.
Yeah, for sure. So what happens? No. Now here, in the middle of that shiur, he's not adding on to what the rabbi said. He, with the permission of the rabbi, remember, you don't add on. Yeah? With the permission of the rabbi, what happens is, he comes and he asks, so says the Gemara, you're right. It's not that he's adding, 1 second. Right now, the Meturgeman is not adding. He's asking for something that the tzibur does not need. If right now it's Pesach, do we need it to rain? We don't need it to rain. Sasufi. Yeah, it's already enough. Yeah, barakah. You don't need more rain. So if like that, so what I'm saying now is the Meturgeman is going to come and start mentioning, you know what? What are you talking about then? So it's the answer of the Gemara, Ela machvarta kede ula. What does that mean? Or rather, right, we are going back to Rabbi Yehuda. What does it mean that we're going back to Ula? Ula said, so therefore we're going back to Ula's answer. So therefore, one more time, you have Reb Chasta asking a question, Reb Chasta started answering the contradiction. Ula knocked off Reb Chasta and he gave his answer. You had Reb Yosef giving an answer. Abaye asked the question, Reb Yosef answers it. Abaye knocks it off again, and then he answers like Ula, which is Rabbi Yehuda. Now the third answer, Rabba. Rabba comes and says, what does it mean, Pesach? He says, it's until the time of the Korban Pesach, the Shechita, the Korban Pesach, that's when it's going to be. What does that mean? Until Chatzot of the Erev Pesach, right? Chatzot Yom, right? But that's the time. So Kavanat of Yudah is when are you going to, there is on Shachrit, you're going to come and say, V'tental matal libracha, right? You're going to come and say, V'tental matal libracha, until Shachrit of Erev Pesach. The Hitchilato, Ken Sofo. The beginning is like the end. What is that? Just like the beginning, what do you do first? You mentioned, and only then, so to inverse. What is inverse? Flip it. What do you do at the end? You first do finish. What do you finish off? And then you finish off maskid. Why? Because when do you finish starting saying
no, the same time.
When? Well, we just answered it. When do you stop asking? When do you stop asking? We just answered. Erev Pesach. Erev Pesach. Shachrit. What? Yeah, but that's when you stop saying the Tental Matal Bracha. The Tental Matal Bracha is then. Now comes the Gemara and says, right? Right, that it's not only just going to be the Tental Matal Bracha, you're going to stop then, but when are you stopping to mention, right? Mashiach Vaygeshem, first day of Pesach. You understood the difference? So therefore, on the first by Sukkot, you first Mashiach Vaygeshem, and then Tental Matal Bracha, and by Pesach, the opposite. You first finish with Tental Matal Bracha and then Pesach, and then, right? And then what? Yeah, and then, right? And then what? The children. Yeah, he comes and then what? And then when? First day of Pesach. Capish? That is going to be the first answer. Elmaleh, Abaye comes and he's going to push off this again. Remember, Abaye pushed off Rabbi Yosef, and now Abaye is pushing off Rabbi. And he says, Elmaleh, Abaye, it's good at the beginning that you're going to be maskir. Why are you going to be maskir? because you're going to be maskid and you want to mention, right, in order to appease the Kadosh Baruch Hu, that afterwards he's going to give you what you want to ask. So you first say, Papa, you butter him up, and then you ask him for the $1 million, right? Correct or not? That's what I always do, yeah? But now he comes and he says, but over here, right? So at the end, if you finish asking, what are you still appeasing now? What are you trying to mention? You finished asking for it, right? That's it, right? You stop right then and there. What are you continuing asking? So again, we go back to Ula. So it comes out the answer of Ula sticks for all three answers. Whether it's going to be for the first answer of Chasta, second answer of Rabbi Yosef, or third answer of Rabbi, we always go back to the original answer of Ula. Tere Tanae Ali Bader Bi Yehuda. Capish? Capish. Very good. Next. The Gemara. Amar Rabbi Asi, Amar Rabbi Yohanan. Says Rabbi Asi in the name of Rabbi Yohanan. Halacha Rabbi Yehuda. Halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda, which means, right, that it's going to be on the Musaf of Shemini Aseret. Elmaleh Rabbi Zera Rabbi Asi, says Rabbi Zera to Rabbi Asi. Umi Amar Rabbi Yohanan. Does Rabbi Yohanan actually say this? He says, Vatnam, we learned in a Mishnah. Bishlosha b'mar cheshvan shoalim. This is now the Yoda. On 10a, it says over there on the 3rd of Mar Cheshvan, we're going to start asking for rain. Shoalim is the Geshamim. Rabbi Gamliel says the Shivabo on the 7th. So there's a machloke between, right, the 3rd or the 7th. Okay? Tanakama says the 3rd of Mar Cheshvan. Rabbi Gamliel says the 7th of Mar Cheshvan. Amar Rabbi Elazar says Rabbi Elazar. Halacha ke Rabbi Gamliel. Halacha is like a Mughir, which means that we're going to do it on the 7th. And that is halacha lema'aseh. You go to Eretz Yisrael, Artzenu HaKedosha, you start on the 7th of Mar Cheshvan. So that is like Rabbi Gamliel, right? That's what he says. Rabbi Elazar Paskin like Rabbi Gamliel. So the Gemara question, the Gemara is going to say one second, right? We have to understand. Elmaleh says Rabbi Asi to Rabbi Zera, Gavra. What's a stira? One of them is Rabbi Yochanan, and one of them is Rabbi Elazar. What's a stira now? A gabra. One man on another man, you're asking contradiction? Meaning, if I'm going to say the halacha is like one person, yeah, and then Baba Haki says the halacha is like somebody else. It's not a contradiction. I have my opinion. He has his opinion. Right? Is that right? Question? That's a question. Gabra, karami. What? He says, can you ask from one person another person? Right? What type of a question is that? Now, again, we did try to make it sound a little bit better because we actually brought down that it was a student. And usually the student holds like the rabbi. Rabbi Elazar was the student of Yochanan, which means that he probably heard it from Rabbi Yochanan, and therefore it actually makes sense. You understand? That's what I would have thought of. You understand? Yeah. It's like students to the rabbis. He comes and he says not like this. He says, no, you know what happened? He says another answer. What's the answer? He comes and he says the other answer is like this. If you could answer another answer, la kashya. It's not a question. Kan lishol, kan laskir. One of them is asking, and one of them is mentioning. What are you comparing both? Right? You're coming and you're saying apples with oranges. One of them is asking. When he said halacha is like a Yehuda, some of the Mishnah mentioned. When he says halacha is like Rabbi Gamliel, that's asking, right? Well, what are you comparing two different things? So says the Gemara, that's not a good answer. Why? The Amar Rabbi Yochanan says Rabbi Yochanan, b'makom sheshoel maskir. What does that mean? Wherever you're going to ask the temple matal brecha, you're going to be maskir. So therefore, right, just like when you're going to start asking on whether it's going to be, you should start asking on Shmini Atzeret, just like you're going to be maskir. So they're going to know that's not when you start. That's when you finish. Meaning when you start, you only mention Shiur of Mudesh. When are you going to ask it in Matal Brecha? Later on. When you finish at the same time. Okay, when you finish at the same time. So says the Gemara, Ve'amar Rabbi Yochanan, says Rabbi Yochanan, Hitchil la'askir, matchil lishol, pasak lishol, pasak la'askir. So what are you talking about? Rabbi Yochanan says that when you start mentioning the rain, you're going to start asking for rain. When you're going to stop asking for rain, you're going to stop mentioning rain. So here you see that everything, whether it's at the beginning or the end, which means that again we have the question from the beginning, right? What are you telling me now that you're only going to start asking on the Shiva Melech, right? Because if you're going to be maskirim and the Odin Shoalim, so then you should start from Shmini Atzeret. Well, what's going on? There's something wrong over here. Right? And this is again Rabbi Yochanan. So says the Gemara, two answers. Answer number one, El ala kashya. It's not a question. What's the question? Not a question. Halan ve'alev. It says one is for us in Babel, and one is in Eretz Israel. What does that mean? We know that Bnei Babel they had rains and fruits in the Sadeh all the month of Tishri. So therefore, rain is going to destroy it. So for what happens? So therefore, they're not going to start asking for rain or mentioning rain until when? The 7th of Masechet, just like Rabbi Elazar. But in Eretz Israel, they already gathered it, Zman Asif, before Sukkot. So for there, from Shmini Atzeret, so therefore, it comes out that even according to Rabbi Yochanan, even if you're going to say they're both the same time, it all depends whether you're in Eretz Israel or Babel. In Eretz Israel, they're both at the same time. In Babel, they're both at the same time, 7th of Masechet. Yeah? So says the Gemara, Maishna ledidan ditlan pera pedabra ledidhu. There's the Gemara, right? 1 second. Maishna ledidan ditlan pera pedabra. What's the difference between us that we have the fruits in the fields? And since we have the fruits in the fields, that's why you don't want to mention it during the month of Tishri, but you want to wait until Marcheshvan. Levidhu nami, for them also in Eretz Israel. Itlehu ole regalim. They have shalosh regalim. They have ole regalim. What are ole regalim? Ole regalim are the people that do aliyah ala regel. When you go up to Eretz Israel, you have to travel. There wasn't an elal that you come and within 13 hours or 14, whatever it is, you're back in Miami, right? You have to be by foot. So you have to travel and travel and travel. You need a lot of days. So they're not going to come and start right away on Shemini Atzeret asking for rain. So therefore a sha'atak comes on you, raining cats and dogs and just soak you. You're not going to do that. So what's going on? So says the Gemara, you're right. Ki kama Rabbi Yochanan. When was Rabbi Yochanan talking about? Bizman she'en bet hamikdash kayam. There's no bet hamikdash. And since there's no bet hamikdash, there's no ole regalim. If there's no ole regalim, already Shivakesh on Shmini Atzeret. Shmini Atzeret, you ask for rain. You don't care. There's nobody coming up to it. There's no Bet HaMikdash. You understand? So says the Gemara, 1 second. But now that you just answered that there's no Bet HaMikdash, hashta now that you came to this. Maybe the second answer is really we're talking about everything is talking about when in Eretz Israel. It's not a question. When do we say that it's going to be the 7th of Masechta? When do we say that it's going to be a Shmini Atzeret? What do I care about Babel now? Right? Where are you going? Everything's Eretz Israel. Come on. Yeah? Correct or not? 100%. Okay. Fine. Next. Says again. We have 2 days. What are we doing? Why? Remember that everywhere in the diaspora we have 2 days. So the question is, if you have done Avina, how do we do it? Do we do it on the first day of Yom Tov or the second day of Yom Tov? When do we do it? When do we stop or when do we start? Better say, when do we start the Mashiach Ruach L'Gesh? It says we have to start the Shmini Atzeret. Which day of Shmini Atzeret? We have 2 days, right? Is it the first day or the second day? So Baba Haki said second day. Huh? That's what you said, no? Well, here. Yeah, we said the second day. When do we do it? First day of Yom Tov or second day of Yom Tov? Says the Gemara, Amar Rav, Matfil b'musafin uposek b'mincha. You're going to start by Musa. One more time. You start by Musa. Which day? First day. You start by Musa. You stop by Mincha, Arvit, V'Shachrit. And then again, you start again Musa. So therefore, which means that you're going to start on Musa on the first day. You're going to stop mentioning it for Mincha, Arvit, and Shachrit of the first and second day. And then again, you start again on the second day of Musaf. So therefore, you're always starting with Musaf. But you're starting Musaf the first day, Musaf on the second day. That is the Shita of Rav. But you're making a sek if you realize. It's a posek. Right? One more time. Matchil b'musafim. That's on the first day. Uposek, you make a sek in Mincha, Arvit, v'Shachrit, v'Oziel b'musafim. What? No. 1 second. Right? Because of the safek. So now 1 second. So says the Gemara, Elmaleh lehu Shemuel. Says Shemuel, Puku. What is Puku? Go out. Puku. V'imru le'Abba. And go tell Abba, Achar she'asito kodesh. Ta'aseu chol. So I don't understand. After you made it kodesh, you make it chol. One more time. What's going on? Yeah, the shita of Rab was that you do shachrit on Musaf, you change because that's what you're supposed to change, right? Musaf and Shemini Atzenet, right? Yes. And then what happens is the mincha you change back to Moridata. Arvit, which is the second day, again you do Moridata. Shachrit, you do again Moridata. Musaf, and you do Mashiv Roch Moridata. Says Shemuel, I don't understand. If you say, right? If you come and you say that on mincha you're going back to regular, what are you making it? You're making chol. Because what did you just say? You said that it's kodesh. You said that it's holy because it's the first day of Yom Tov. And that's why you started by Musaf. And all of a sudden, 5 minutes later, you say mincha. And all of a sudden, you change back to Moridatan. What's going on? It doesn't make sense. After you made it kodesh, now you make it chol. Doesn't make sense. So therefore, what? So on one second, see, because if right now you're making it kodesh, what does kodesh mean? That it's Yom Tov, correct? If you right now you just said that it's Yom Tov, that's why on Shmini Atzeret, which is Yom Tov, you're saying Mashiach Baruch Hu B'Dagesh. When Musa, the Mishnah says Musa, you're not going to change it. Okay, Musa, Chazak Baruch. Comes Mincha, what do? You go back to Moridatan, and then what do you do for Arvit? Moridatan, Shachrit Moridatan. Now 1 second. The Arvit and Shachrit of Moridatan, maybe you're saying that Be'emet, the first day was Chol. And the second day was Kodesh. Now, if the second day is Kodesh, Arvit and Shachrit, right? What do you do on Arvit Shachrit? Arvit and Shachrit, you never do Moridatan. So you do Moridatan, no problem. Right? Comes now Musaf. Now you're going to start it. But the Mincha was wrong. Because the Mincha of the same day, you just changed back, showing that it was Chol, that it was a weekday. What's the proof? Was you're only going to start on Musaf of the next day. So that you can do. Says Shmuel that you can't do. So what does Shmuel say? Elama Shmuel says Shmuel, Matchil b'musafin u'v'mincha. You put together the same day. How do you put together the same day? Musaf and mincha are together. So no, the first day, one more time, first day.
So are we to come back to?
So now Musaf and mincha is the same. What do you mean the same? Now you have, this is Shmuel. Now you have what? Now you have the next, what's the next one? Arvit and Shachrit. So now Arvit and Shachrit is the second day. Since Arvit and Shachrit is the second day, you can make it Chol. Because it's either Kodesh or Chol, because it's a different day. It's a different day. So for Arvit and Shachrit, you're going back to Moridatan, and then you start again on Musaf. That is the Shita of Shemuel. Comes the third Shita. Rabbi Amar, no. Rabbi comes and he says, Kevan Shitchil, the second you start something, you don't stop. Yeah? You start, you don't stop. You understand? You don't stop. That's also what Shechat. Once you start, you don't stop. Okay? So says the Gemara, you should know, Ve'af Rav Hadar. Even Rav himself retracted. Remember, how many shittot do we have? We have Rav, Shemuel, and Rabbi. Okay, so Rav and Rav Sheshet also with Rav, same as Rav. Right? Are you guys listening? Yeah? Says the Gemara, even Rav retracted. How do we know? Tamar Rav says, you're going to count 21 days. In order that you should count also 10 days, right? Just like you're going to count 10 days, which means like this. Rosh Hashanah, what do you start? You start counting Rosh Hashanah. 10 days later is Kippur, correct? So you count 10 days from Rosh Hashanah to Kippur. You do the exact same thing with Shemini Atzeret. You're going to count 21 days, right? You're going to count 21 days from the beginning of Rosh Hashanah until Shemini Atzeret, right? And therefore you're not going to come back. Umatchil, and then you're going to start. So once you start, you don't finish. Yeah? Right? Once you start, you don't finish. So now you have Rava, Rav Shesha, and Rav. We're just gonna, right? We're just gonna do the Mishnah.
You can have the
Okay?
same. When in Rosh Hashanah do you start counting?
No. First day. No, you're counting the days. Day 1 until day 10. Kippur. We're talking about from how do you calculate Kippur? You count 10 days from Rosh Hashanah, you get Kippur. You count 20 days from Rosh Hashanah, you get what's it called? You get which one? Mishnah says, Ad matai shoamin et geshamim. This is also Chazara. We already know this. Until when are we going to ask for rain? Rabbi Yehuda says that She'avor Pesach, which we already know what that means. 3 different explanations. What does it mean at She'avor Pesach? Right? We're going to say just until the Chol HaMoed, whatever, the Pashtut, whatever. Rabbi Meir says until She'etzeh Nisan, until Nisan finishes. Shneimar, Vayored lachem geshem moreh u'mankosh b'rishon. That it's going to come down the geshem moreh u'mankosh b'rishon, which means in the first month. Now we're going to speak about what is the yoreh, what is the mankosh, what is the geshem. Lina will speak about that tomorrow. Have a wonderful